My name is Maddie Butler. I'm the Executive Director of Woodlawn East Community and Neighbors, known as We Can. Well, one of the things he was able to accomplish was the voters' right in the Woodlawn community. I don't think that even dawned on them that people in this community was not registered to vote, his people. And he was the thing that galvanized them around the registration of the voting. Then we were 90,000 strong in this community. 90,000 strong. And so the schools were overpopulated. And so we had little schools, the CPS set up little schools in the park, little camps or something like that for our kids to go to school in. And he forced them to build better schools in this community. Those was the Willis wagons, yeah, that's right, that's what they called them, the Willis wagons, gave them the name. I mean, he jumped out there on that right away. And he was on the front of that. And he said, oh no, we're not having that. You're not putting our kids in the park, freezing them to death in the wintertime and burning them up in the summertime. You're gonna spend the same kind of money on these kids that you spend on the kids up north. There was a lot of things that people would have said, could have said and have said about Bishop. But the one thing that they need to say is that he was the lightning rod for the black community in the city of Chicago.
He used his civil rights experience as kind of a bedrock of his thinking. It was really formative for him. But it was formative not in an expressed way. His experience was helped him think through how to do things, both now and in the future. Bishop always made it very clear the church came first. He would certainly pick his fights in community development, or he would pick the initiatives that he wanted to get behind. But once he got behind an initiative, you knew he was there. So one was when the Green Line, what we now call the Green Line, came down east of Cottage Grove. That was an effort he led, actually, with Valerie Jarrett, who was in my chair at that time. And that was a fight. That was a big fight in the community. Both sides had good opinions. There was fairness on both sides. He really led that charge in the community that he thought that opening up East 63rd Street was really the way to redevelop Woodlawn. Oh, I think it was bringing belief back into the neighborhood, that Woodlawn was a neighborhood full of possibilities, that we could walk away from the past, for example, the difficult relationship with the university, and turn that into something positive, that we could bring housing back into the neighborhood, we could bring educational opportunities, good quality educational opportunities back into the neighborhood, and so on. I think it was really getting folks to believe in the neighborhood, and that in community development, that's really always got to be the first step. After that, then it becomes a tactical question.
My relationship with the bishop goes back to the 1960s. When I was in the Chicago Police Department, I was a homicide detective at that time, and there was a lot of violence, not only in Woodlawn, but in other parts of the city. Along the way, I found out a lot about TWO and Dr. Finney and Reverend Brazier and the whole thing and how that was working. And I come to realize that TWO was a major influence in Woodlawn in many ways. And a lot of things that they accomplished, especially the adversarial relationship they had with the University of Chicago, was pretty significant. The suspicion was that the university wanted to take up a lot of land south of 61st Street and run the residents out of the neighborhood, so they could build university installations on that land. And Reverend Brazier and Dr. Finney and TWO, they resisted, and they were successful in coming to an agreement with the university that they would not build anything south of 61st Street. And that agreement, to me, was quite significant, because I've been working for the university for 25 years, And that was quite an accomplishment, knowing everything I know about the University of Chicago, which was a very influential entity in the southeast side of Chicago.